Join discord.gg/flatearth and enter a check-in room. Someone will come along and verify you to get involved in the conversation about our Earth.
Somebody asking questions in the panel. So maybe we could. I know you're cooking, Eli, but
No, go ahead.
I have questions. So, I mean, Luxo, are you still with us?
Yes, hello.
Cool. Did you have any questions about stuff that Eli was saying before we move on?
I'm sorry, I was kind of drilling down on the chat, and I was wondering about my own questions.
Yeah, no worries.
Maybe I can post you guys another one that I've just been thinking about.
Well, I noticed you posted the rocket. You posted the rocket.
Yeah.
Crash.
Oh, right. we could address that, or I just have something fresher that maybe we could talk over.
Okay. Do you want to just dismiss? Are we discarding the rocket stuff, or
we could come back to that in a while? But first, I just want to maybe do a thought experiment. Okay, so the time where I'm at is it's 1:40 in the morning. What's the time over there?
11:40 a.m.
So we acknowledge that they're different times, right?
This is remedial, yes.
Okay, so I was just thinking if it's 12 o'clock and I'm on a part of the Earth where the sun is directly above me, like literally vertically above me, it's 12 midday, right? And then I go talk to, if I find a person who's at 12 midnight, where the sun would be, well, we'll get there. If those two people, me and this other person, 12 midday, 12 midnight, went directly up, are we both going towards the sun?
What do you mean?
Down is the same for everyone.
Okay,
but
so
I'm not sure what
above my head, and if the sun's above my head right now, and the sun is above your head where you are, and we go straight up, well, I would be going straight to the sun because that's directly above me. But the sun's not above you, so which direction are you going?
What do you mean?
Well, the sun is always above. The sun doesn't go under the earth or under the ground or under you, ever.
How is it possible that it's 1:40 in the morning for me, but 11 a.m. for you?
First of all, time is just a construct at the moment. But think of think of a clock.
It's dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. Earth is big. So I don't know if you're imagining like a disk in space with the sun shining on the whole Earth. It's not what we're talking about here. Just in the same way that if I flick a light on in my house, it doesn't light up the entire house, or one street light doesn't light up the whole street. The Earth is quite big. So the sun doesn't need to light up the whole Earth. And if you look at a clock, think of a clock, right? It's not a spherical thing. It's based. You could look at a clock almost like as a little flat Earth. You've got the hands going around the sun and the moon, essentially. So if you're at noon and if I'm at 6 o'clock, the sun's over you and it's not over me. So it's not that difficult to kind of wrap your head around. But if you just need to understand that the Earth is very, very large, and the sun's not lighting up the whole Earth in the same way that a street light doesn't light up your whole neighborhood.
So, but if it's directly up, I mean, I'm just thinking about, I heard you talking about what experiments you can do yourself, but I'm sitting in my chair, you're sitting in your chair. If I see the sun's directly above me, you're saying
what's the difference between a light that's 90 degrees above you in your house and me right now? If we both go up, you would be going towards the light in your house. What the fuck does that mean for me? I could perhaps get your bearing, and I could and then look in your direction. Mm-hmm. But the light is above your head in your house. What's that got to do with me?
So if you could see the sun where you are,
No, I mean that's not rhetorical. What's that got to do with me?
Well, I'm doing the thought experiment. We're in two different
Me
parts of
too.
the
I'm a part of the
Earth.
thought of experiment. And I'm saying, well, okay, there's a light in your house that's directly above you.
Well, it's the
And
sun.
then I'm in my house. No, we're not talking about the real sun. This is a thought experiment, not for reals, right? So
Okay.
I'm in my house. Okay?
Yeah.
So what? I don't get it. We can make it a large warehouse where there's a light above you and I'm in some dark corner of the warehouse that the light doesn't reach. You go up, I go up. So what? Right? So now people have this religious idea
We're both
that
in the
whatever the
same
sun
house.
is, so we have a religious idea. No, we're not in the same area, right?
Right.
We're definitely not in the same area. I don't see you in my house. You don't see me in yours. Or if
In
I
a
work in a
way,
warehouse, I work in produce, you work in meats. Okay, it's not the same place, not the same location, unless I'm sitting on your lap. No homo.
wait, but essentially though we are in the same house. It's just a huge freaking house, dude. Huge. So if you flip on one light that's above you, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to reach all the way to me.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a pretty markedly different kind of scales we're talking about. Like, we're talking about a
So
house,
what
but
kind of scales?
we're talking about millions of kilometers versus
No, no,
Oh,
we're
really?
talking.
5 meters.
Rewind. We
How
like
far is the
to
sun?
make clear the assumptions on the table. Now, I haven't made any assumptions since I started talking earlier. I haven't heard Creation Bear make any assumptions. You just said that we're dealing with how many miles?
And tens of millions.
How do you know that?
This is what I've read. You hear it
Right.
now.
How do you know that? How do you validate what you read? How did
Well,
they, how did the people who wrote in those books validate what they said?
I can tell you my beliefs, or I can try to justify them.
Well, yeah,
I'm just
but
telling
if
you
you
my
justify
beliefs.
beliefs, all we have is beliefs that are justified. Am I supposed to then religiously jump on your bandwagon? I'm asking you specifically. We're not talking about religion or beliefs. We're talking about you gave a figure, and that figure in your mind is preventing you from accepting what we're saying. So, how do you know that that figure is real?
I just know the scales of distances
What
involved.
scales? Can you post it in the
Well,
give us a
the roof.
citation?
You were talking about the roof of a house. You're talking
No,
about how
I'm talking
far.
about this distance
So
to the light
I'm just
source.
talking
I'm talking
about
about this millions of
the
miles. Yeah, yeah.
distance to the
That's what
roof
I'm focused. That's what I'm focused
is
on too.
less than the distance to the sun. However,
That
that might
that's
be.
what I'm focused on too. Right? I'm focused on this idea that the sun is a million miles away. How do you know that? To tell me that no,
I
your
can get a
example.
ladder and get on the roof, but I can't get a ladder tall enough to hit the sun.
Right. So how do you know that the sun is as far away as you just told us?
I can't get it. I can climb on a roof. I can't climb onto the sun. I know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we know that. So, what is the basis for your claim then? I'm not asking you to
I'm
climb on a roof.
saying,
I'm
I'm
asking
saying,
you. Listen, listen, listen. You said it was in a book somewhere. I thought it was reasonable to ask you to cite it so that we could look at the information. But you're still talking. So I guess that wasn't reasonable to ask because I'm trying to get down to the bottom of the problem. You think that the sun is a millions and jillions, 93 million miles away to be exact. Um, and I'm like, oh, wow, that's interesting. How do you validate that? What you're doing is not helping me get there. So what is the purpose if we can't communicate and understand one another? I'm not even trying to tell you anything. I'm asking you for the information that allows you to believe what you believe. And you're like, oh, I just read it somewhere. You think that's good enough? You're better than that, bro. You deserve more than that. When you come into a flat earth server, you should be able to stand on what you're saying, right? That's only fair, right?
So what I have said was talking about the thought experiment and trying to get to the bottom of are we going in the same direction or up?
Yeah, we're going the
It
same
feels like
direction. Yeah.
you just hijacked it and I said a number, and then that's what you can focus on. That's
Okay.
steering away from understanding, from what I can gather.
So your thought. So you know that I didn't misunderstand you. Okay. There's a light, right? It's directly above you. It's not above me. Your question was, which direction do we go if we go up? That's a malformed question. That's why I began to say, I don't know what you
A
mean.
malformed question.
Yeah,
I mean,
what
Yes.
do
I'm
you mean
asking,
by that?
Very much so.
if we go directly up, so yeah, I guess you've answered it. I mean, if we both go up, we're both going in the exact same direction.
Correct. But what is this
what's
like?
the
Okay, so now that you've asked and got the answer, what are you gonna do? Like, how do you plan on cashing that in?
Well, I just never understood the mechanics by which there's time zones, and I guess if it's 12,
Think of
it takes 12 hours for the sun above my head to reach your head, right?
Well,
Yeah.
We've got time and distance, in a sense.
Bro.
Yeah. You're describing exactly what our experience is, but so what? Like, what's the point? What's the conclusion? Like, we have time zones, and you're like, I'm just
not
trying
sure
to.
it's quite.
How do you not
flat
understand?
Earth explains better than globe.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Why is that
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Posted it in the chat.
Excuse me. This is what I mean by assumptions. First of all, you know that there are time zones. The time zones are based on your geographic location. We know that part. So the part that you're inserting in your mind and trying to impress on to us is that, well, it works on a sphere. How does it work on a flat earth though? No, let's back that shit up, because I was the one that galvanized people in here to take daylight observations from 5 different countries, still have the information somewhere in the chat, by the way. And when I asked them, oh, look at all this daylight. If you were to shine a light on the globe, this obviously doesn't work geometrically speaking. You know what they told me? Oh, that's fine. Just use the Mercator projection. Well, the Mercator projection isn't a globe projection. So you saying it works on a globe? No, the fuck it doesn't. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Look at the chat, bro. 50 minutes past the hour. You're like, I just don't understand how this could work on a flat Earth. Take a look. What's so difficult to understand? There's no spherical clocks. Can you see what Donato posted there in the chat?
Yeah, I'm looking at that. So the sun lights up. This is the flat Earth model.
No. We're just trying to help you understand your question. You're having some difficulty understanding the questions. We're just trying to give you some stuff to chew on that'll help you understand a little bit better. Obviously, a clock. This clock is not the Earth, but it's a way to help you understand. You're asking about time zones. Think of a clock. You've got 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so on.
But,
there's two hands.
This would explain why one side would be lit up and the other side isn't, right?
So what's the question?
Well, if it's all flat then, and the light is above this clock, then the light is hitting Australia and South America at the same time.
No.
This is the thing that grinds my gears. I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm just gonna step out because I can't help myself. I only have a couple of minutes. I got other shit to do. Sorry. The thing, in every experience of you and light, other than the sun, so let's think about artificial light, you understand that there's light attenuation, meaning the light doesn't travel forever. You know you're standing on a flat surface locally, right? You know, locally it's like, okay, well, this isn't enough Earth curve for us to really see. We would have to do something else, right? So for all you know, the flat part that you're standing on, you know that light either reaches you or it doesn't, based on the luminosity of the light. Or the illumination of the light, whatever, right? Your entire experience is based on light either being strong enough to reach you or not reach you. When it comes to the sun, all of a sudden you're like, the light travels forever, and the sun is 93 million miles away, so big. But the bottom line is the Earth is being shown on halfway, because the light's going to travel forever regardless in your mind. But your experience,
exponentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have a really, really, really bright light and it's really, really far away, well then, your lamp will only illuminate 2 meters because it's a fraction of the brightness of the sun. I'm just talking.
Yeah,
I'm just giving an account of how decay of light.
We know, but you don't know how bright or how far the sun is. I mean, you don't know how far it is. I asked you.
I can look at it in the sky.
But that doesn't tell you.
I can look at my street lamp.
That doesn't tell you. That doesn't give you the information that you're saying. It doesn't tell you 93 million miles. It doesn't tell you what the sun is or where it is.
I'm not saying
we don't know.
I'm just saying one is brighter than the other. That's all I'm kind of saying here.
Cool, but you're adding extra information, though.
Well, if you keep going back, you're lifting other parts that we've said and jamming it into the point that I'm currently making. I'm just making points as they come along.
Man, how you experience in the real life?
Sasha.
Beg your pardon?
How you experience the sun in the real life comparing to the size of the Earth?
Well, I guess the shadows are straight.
Do you experience? No, I mean, do you experience like a big, enormous, bigger thing than Earth or smaller than Earth?
I like my physical sensations.
Yeah, how you experience?
It's a big fiery orb in the sky.
Yeah,
you could feel the heat on your skin.
Is it? And my question is: it look bigger or smaller than Earth?
Does it look it?
Yeah.
No, I guess from my point of view, not knowing anything else, then yeah, your assumption there would be it's smaller.
It's small.
Okay, now let's put a pin on that. So, what if that's the case? Because you tried to say that the sun should be lighting up the whole Earth. We're telling you that's not the case. In the same way that a street light doesn't light up the whole neighborhood, or one light in your house doesn't light up the whole house. So, we're telling you the sun doesn't light up the whole Earth.
It lights. Well, I never said it lights up the whole Earth either. So
then what is your point? What point are you making then? Because you said earlier that it would light everywhere.
I'm saying if it's probably going back to the midday kind of thing, we're on the opposite ends of the Earth, so we'd be going in completely different directions. The opposite directions would be both way up.
Can you imagine surface? Imagine
why? We already went over this. The down. If you point your arm up to the sky, you and I are pointing to the same direction. When we point down to the ground, down is the same for all of us. You can bank on these two things. We don't know what the sun is. We don't know where any of these things, but you can know that the sun is above you, moving, whatever the sun is.
If we look at that like that celestial sphere thing, where it's like you got that star. Where was it? Yeah, if that
why would you go up or go in a different direction?
Where that GP, are we all looking at it? I mean, if I'm standing where GP is, and you're standing on the ship away from GP, well, if we point straight up, we're not both pointing at the same star, right?
No, we're pointing in the same direction. Up. Up is the same for all of us, and down is the same for all of us.
So the ship is underneath the star just as GP is.
Well, I would like you to try to wrap your argument up in a bow. Like, what is the point you'd like to make, or can you cash this in somewhere?
Yeah, if you're saying
we've
it's directly up.
What if we go up? What if we go up?
Directly up?
All right.
Well, okay. So, if we're looking at the celestial sphere thing, right, with the angles and all that shit, you're saying that if you're on a ship and I'm on the other ship and we both point at the star, they're the same direction.
Well, I have to go look reference to what you're talking about. You're talking about Eli's post from a while ago.
Yeah, maybe I can post it again.
Let me repost it here. Look. I don't know why this is so difficult. Down.
Maybe,
I'm looking.
maybe he
I'm
thinks
looking
that
at the areas that you brought
go
up.
up and look at the sun at the same time.
Dude.
No, I'm helping. Maybe he thinks
No, I'm talking
just
to him.
like
I'm talking to him.
like with the example I gave, maybe he thinks, the sun is above me, and then you're like, I'm on a ship and the sun is over there, and he thinks that we should all be able to see it. Like, I don't understand what he's trying to say.
Well, like looking. Are we looking at the thing that you posted? The sphere. It's like a semi sphere.
Yeah, that you know what that is? That's 180-degree field of vision from the person, because we can't see all of the sky at the same time. You do know that, right?
Right, but if the sun is on this sphere, so let's put the sun where that star is, and GP is underneath that star. Well, if we go to the other side of GP, and he looks up, is he looking at the sun as well, or is he looking? No, okay.
Yeah, but he's looking.
I don't
at
know
an
what
angle.
you're asking, bro. I don't know what you're asking.
I don't think you even have a point at this point.
I got it. I got it. If you allow me to, I'll explain what he's saying. I think I get what he's saying. So are you there?
I'm here.
All right, Luxor. So you're saying that people that are on the Earth in two different locations, right? Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're both looking at the sun, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, we've gone both ways, but one of them was the midday one. Sun is directly above, and sun is not directly above.
Okay, but they both see the sun, yes or no?
Well, it's midnight. No, you don't see the sun.
Okay, so one person is seeing the sun, the other person is not seeing the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, so now what's your problem here? What is the issue that you're having? Because if I'm following you correctly, I'm only thinking about, like, if you're on the same level plane, right? If it's a flat earth, the level plane is what we're talking about. And you're saying, well, I see the sun, it's right above me. But the guy who's away from me, that it's nighttime for him, how come he doesn't see the sun? Is this what you're asking?
I guess so. Because if he's on the ship, he can see that sun as well.
We're not talking about the ship. We're just talking about the Earth. Okay, let's not use any other examples other than the Earth.
Okay. This was the model that was brought on to Buttress.
Yeah, that's fine. But let's just try to finish. Let's just try to finish where we're at right now.
The celestial sphere is situational. So
yeah, I was just gonna get there, bro. I was gonna tell him.
The celestial sphere is not a sphere of the entire scope of the sky at the same time. That's not even. That's not possible. I'm just saying, like, why? Go ahead. Like, don't use my example as an argument as to that makes no sense, because my argument deals with two people that are in daylight. One has the sun above. Another person, or it could be a star. It doesn't really even matter. It's not that you can see the entire sky at the same time. Everybody knows that you can't.
Where does the sky go?
That's what he wants to see. That's what his argument was. Right there.
Bruh. Not under the ground, bro. Not under the ground.
That's what you're mistaken. You're mistaken the fact that the people that one guy is in night, the other guy is in day. They're looking up at the same sky, but the angle at which they're seeing the sky is also something to be considered, right? So if you're seeing something at a farther distance, everything works with perspective. Okay, there's a lot of things you're not considering right now. How vision works. Do you know how vision works? Like how your eyes perceive the world around you. Do you know? Yes or no, Luxor? Because this is important. It's an important point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do? It doesn't sound like it.
Well, it sounds pretty basic, and I don't. Okay, yes, I do. Yes.
Okay, so you understand that perspective is a part of like our vision and how we perceive the world around us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so taking that into consideration, using an analogy or an example, like looking down the hallway, let's say, right, for just to kind of get your mind understood in the point. Looking down the hallway, the walls and the floor and the ceiling look like they converge at the eye line of the observer at a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that? That's right. Well, it's not so much the vanishing point, but so much that we can say that at the eye line of the observer, everything's converging.
Yeah.
Okay, so being that is how we perceive the world around us, then it means that the floor and the ceiling look like they meet at a point. The floor looks like it ramps up. The ceiling looks like it ramps down. The walls look like they come in and like if you're looking down a hallway, right? So when you go outside, the same type of optical view is still used. Like you still see the world in that type of perspective. Everything's converging to your eye line, right? So you don't see forever. So the guy in the nighttime and the guy in the daytime are gonna see things as far as their visual perspective can allow them to. Does this make sense to you? Yes or no?
No, not quite. No.
Not quite.
Bruh.
So when you see a car drive away from you, do you notice it getting small?
Yeah.
Is it really getting small?
No. It's getting
right.
far.
So it's getting far away from you, but you understand that your eyes are seeing it perspectively, right? As the car looks like it's diminishing in size. It's not really diminishing in size. It just apparently seems that way to you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now think of it like this. Imagine if you were to I won't go any farther than that because I just want you to I want to answer your question. So with the two people standing at opposite ends of the earth, or one guy's in light, one guy's in day, he can only visually see as far as he can, right? Now you got to think about something that's very important also with what we're saying. Light also attenuates only to a certain distance. It doesn't go forever. Do you understand this point?
Yeah, it's exponentially the case with distance.
Right, but it doesn't travel forever. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I guess that's... yeah, eventually it becomes undetectable. Yeah.
Right, but it doesn't travel forever. Do you understand, right? Just answer yes or no. You understand that? Does light travel forever, Luxor?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, so we can test things like light traveling through the medium of air. We can test things like light traveling through water. Let's say just different mediums can change how light responds to that and how it travels through it. Right?
Right.
You could say again. You don't know?
I said right. Go on.
Okay, so the example that I want to use here is through the medium of water. The way how water will not be able to let light travel through it. So on a clear sunny day, a diver that goes out into the ocean, right? Clear sunny day, there's no clouds in the sky. It's nice and sunny, but as he drops down into the water, he's not gonna get the light to penetrate down all the way to the bottom of the water. As he goes further and further down, it starts to become dark.
Yeah, the water absorbs it. Hits the water molecules.
What we're saying though is that light doesn't travel forever. And because of the medium of water, it will start to diffuse as the diver goes further down into the water. Does this make sense to you? Hello?
It's
what?
I don't know. It's like if you have...
Well, you agree with what I just said though. Or are you disagreeing with it?
I'm trying to think it through.
But does it make sense? At least.
Yeah, I mean that's an experience that I've had underwater. Sure.
Okay. Well, as long as you can say that it follows logically, right? Then it would make sense too that in the medium of water, light doesn't travel forever. Because at some point there would be an extinction limit where light couldn't possibly travel at the further in depth you go, which means that light does attenuate differently in different mediums, right? Like in the medium of air. So the medium of water, as it's traveling through water, it has an extinction limit where it diffuses and you won't be able to see light all the way down to the bottom. It becomes very dark. Yes?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Now, the medium of air, however, is a bit different than the medium of water, right? It's less dense. So as it travels through air, it still would have an extinction limit how it travels through the air. And of course, the intensity of the light that's actually being emitted from the sun, which we don't know. There's no detection of what energy we're talking about here as far as the level of luminosity to say that we're going to give it to a specific degree, because the energy that gives it what it does, is still like the unknown part about like what generates that power. There's a story that's attached to it, but we're not going to go there right now. For just the purpose of we're talking about the example that you were using, two people on Earth, one under the light and the other guy not under light, he's in darkness. We're going to talk about how light wouldn't travel forever. And there's an extinction limit to it and how it attenuates through the air, right? And probably more than it would water. So it has a better attenuation through the medium of air, which would have an extinction limit, of course, but it wouldn't travel forever. So we get to a point
what do you
where
mean?
light...
I mean, if you shine a light
yes.
underwater and a light above water, I'm going to be able to see it through the air at a longer distance than before the light.
We're talking about the sun, though, Luxor. Don't change my example to yours. It's not your example.
I'm trying to make
so my example is using the sun. The sun is the thing that I'm using because, as you can see, it cannot travel. It cannot penetrate all the way down to the depths of the water. It wouldn't be able to. It would diffuse. It would not be something that we can actually say is true. So therefore, the sun traveling through the medium of air, however, it has its potential grasp on a larger distance, over the medium of air, but then it has its extinction limit, where how far its reaches.
But the light given off the sun follows the same laws as the lights on your table in your room, right? Like it's still
the
same operating thing. What?
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
It's a different light. Are you going to say the same light? It's totally not analogous because what we're using here is something in nature versus something that's man-made. So it's not analogous.
But they both give off the phenomenon of light.
It's not analogous, Luxo.
Why not?
Not analogous. I just told you. One's in nature and the other one's man-made.
Why does that matter for what? Okay, what if it's a firefly?
Because one is attempting to solve. One is attempting to discuss the issue of what we're talking about in your example. I'm actually talking to you about the two people on Earth. We're not talking about a room in your house. I don't care about that. I'm discussing two people on this Earth that we are on right now. Why somebody in darkness?
But you're talking about the attenuation of the sun, and you're making a lot of assumptions. Like
it's not an assumption.
The light given off by the sun and the light bulb are different things.
It's not an assumption. It's verified. So yeah, you said they're two different things. Of course they are. One's man-made, one isn't. Right. So we can see.
What's that to do with the nature of light?
Well, especially the nature of like the discussion of what you're talking about. Two people on Earth. One in nighttime, one in daytime, right? Let's not get lost in the plot here. I'm going back to what you were saying and then showing you that the variables that you're discussing right now, which is, first of all, perspective and how far we can see, like from, where we can see, and how far light can attenuate through the medium of air.
But you're also saying that light attenuates faster in air than in wood.
Farther, not faster, farther.
So it goes further through air than it does water.
Yes.
You said the opposite of that just a moment ago.
When? When did I say the opposite of that?
Well, the way I heard it, you said you were underwater. Well, for two guys to be on different parts of the Earth, and one's in light, one's in dark, you're saying it actually attenuates stronger, as in it doesn't light doesn't go as far through the air than it does the water.
I never said faster.
What?
I said farther. You keep changing when I say what I'm saying. You keep changing what I'm saying.
If it attenuates faster, it means it goes
farther.
100 meters.
Farther, not faster. Farther.
I'm
You know the
telling you,
difference?
they're exactly the same thing.
You said faster.
You said faster,
said
bro.
faster.
Come on, focus, Luxo.
Yeah, if you can't if the light gives out at 100 meters versus 200 meters, well then it attenuates faster or attenuates.
Oh my god, bro! Like you're changing. Listen, whether or not the speed of light is different is irrelevant to what we're talking about. It's the distance at which it's at this. Listen,
he's not making a. He's not making a point, bro. I just realized that we're an hour in, and he's actually not made one coherent point. He's made enough of a point for us to ask, what do you mean? Oh, do you mean this? Or do you mean this? And every time we try to pin it down, he just comes up with something else that's incoherent. What's that about?
He's changing it. Yeah, he's changing what I'm saying to something else.
What you need to do, Luxo, is take your questions and form it into a statement or a claim. Because you're masking some weird rhetoric behind all these questions. You've been answered, but it doesn't seem like you actually want the answer. So why don't you stop asking questions and put it into a statement? Make a claim that we can address.
I'm trying to understand what you're.
No,
so
you're
I came with the
no,
point.
We've painfully detailed
and
it
then
out for like an hour.
As you're explaining it, I don't really. There's things that I disagree with. Or
well, then formulate it. Luxo, formulate it in the statement like CB just said. So we can get to the answer it directly, because you're trying to go. You're taking the long way around. Just state a claim, so that we can answer it.
I didn't have a claim to begin with, so that was.
So what are you doing then? What the fuck are you doing then?
I was curious as to what your answer would be to this experiment. And I got
The answer was given. Well, what else? And really, with the answer, you started to change it and make it your own. So you're just twisting my words around at this point, even though the answer was given. You're changing what I said.
Well, okay. So if you want to go back to attenuation in the air, it was a little thing that I was confused about, and I couldn't find a place to jump in and ask you about it. But I'm happy to hear you lay out the rest of the point.
Well, you're very confused. But you're very confused because when you repeat that back to me, you change it to talk about the speed of light, not the attenuation of it through the medium. You changed the fucking word around.
But I'm just saying the light.
I don't care to know about that speed of light. I'm talking. That's not what I'm talking about.
I never mentioned the speed of light. I said the speed of attenuation, and I believe it was.
What's that same fucking shit, dude? Light's attenuating with a certain speed.
Light has
you're pissing me off, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, but what's the let him. If we speak less and he speaks more, he'll run out of gas. Because I'm still trying to understand what you're asking. I told you from the beginning that the questions that you're asking sound incomplete. I don't feel comfortable answering questions that I don't understand. You haven't made one coherent question since you've been here.
Well,
so Mickey is talking about the attenuation of light. You're talking about you began with, okay, so the light is, above me and the sun, right? And then you're somewhere else. What direction do you go if you go up? That doesn't even make fucking sense because it's incomplete. It's missing information.
Yes, that's why we talk it through, dude. I'm trying to pick it up.
We're not talking it through. We know something you don't. You're asking questions that are incomplete. We're not talking through anything if we can't communicate.
Yeah, don't really follow what you're saying.
Oh,
that's
how we feel.
What did he say, Elisha? He didn't understand.
He didn't follow what I said. Well, here's the thing. Obviously, when you think about water, you know that the sun doesn't reach forever. So that concludes the day part portion, the day and night portion. Then you're talking about the angle. The angle. Remember, I told you if you're the same guy, I don't even remember. That the elevation angle to Polaris. Let's just take Polaris for example. If you were right underneath Polaris.
But back up to that picture.
Do I have to mute you, bro? Because I feel like when you talk, that's why you don't understand what I'm saying.
What you're saying. I'm trying to
You're not clarifying. He hasn't even finished his fucking point, dude. What the fuck?
Well, it's sad you're talking about Polaris, so I'm asking if it was the.
Would you let him finish his fucking point, Luxo?
Well, that's a yes or no.
Control yourself, bro.
Let me hear why are you interrupting? What was unclear about which part of what I said was unclear? Use my words.
You said
use
Polaris.
my words and tell me what's unclear.
You said Polaris.
What about Polaris was I talking about?
Oh, so I was thinking, are we going back to that image that you posted earlier?
Excuse me. The question is, what about Polaris was I talking about that you were trying to clarify?
If you were referring to, if we can refer back to the image that Polaris.
Oh my God, man.
No, I'm talking about Polaris in real life.
Okay, cool.
I'm talking about Polaris in real life.
That was like yes or no. That's cool. Got it. Go on.
All right. So Polaris has a GP somewhere. Yes or no?
I don't know what a GP is.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Hold on, time out. Is this not the guy? Yo,
it's
guys,
the same guy.
It's the same dude. It's the same fucking guy.
He used the word GP before I did.
I know.
I'm looking at the image.
Kick him out.
I'm looking at the image.
He's on that fuck shit, dude. He's on that fuck shit, man. He's been on that fuck shit.
He said if you're at the Jeep, if the star is at the G or the sun is at the GP and you're somewhere else, what the fuck do you mean I don't know what a GP is? When those words came out of your mouth.
He's on that fuck shit. That's all he is.
Yeah, this is one of the tactics I've picked up on lately. Is people will just mask a bunch of rhetoric behind questions.
Yeah,
but that's what the problem is. What they keep asking questions and they don't actually want the answer. We've answered this like 15 times.
Well, not only that,
by 3 different people.
Yeah, not only that, man, but like what was happening too is because he's with that other. He's a part of a group. He admittedly said so. He's a part of the group with Buster, with that other guy we're speaking to with a little shield or mask on his avatar. Starts with a K.
Cameron,
name. Yeah, that guy. And they're all come together. So they're all grouped in together. And so he thinks that by him being the lone wolf in here, he wants to just like sabotage the same arguments, just like the other characters that were in here. So they're just on the fuck shit right now. They don't want. He doesn't want to. I told him, dude, you could ask some questions and be real, be your own person. But no, they want to share a community fucking brain and act like an idiot in here instead of be real. So because he knows what you're talking about because he's the one that stated it.
I don't think they're up to a full brain. Anyway, I was listening. I just want to confirm that he said GP, and then he said he don't know what that is. Yeah. I was listening on YouTube, and as soon as I turned it on, I heard him say the GP. It's like the first thing I heard.
Yeah, he's on that fuck shit, man.
Yep, I'm gonna
just born yesterday.
I'm rewinding the tape right now.
I would definitely put my vote on like ban him, like fuck those kind of people who just like for time wasting thinking it's funny when other people are actually investing time for their favor, for them to learn something, for them to discover the truth.
Sorry about that, Murray. A little premature on the sound effect there.
Not only did he say GP, he started using it in an argument. How do you not know what it is, but you're using it in an argument?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like when I start in on these guys, like I'm being unfair and I'm asking too many irrelevant questions, but they're all relevant to their like fuck shit. I know that they want to take me somewhere or take the argument somewhere so they can make it look stupid. So if I turn it around and give it to them, like reducing all their arguments down to that they don't know, then it's going to look like, oh, what the fuck? Like I thought I had a good argument when I didn't. So I know that. So when I come in here and I'm doing the method of what I do, having them detail everything that they tell us, because they're already coming here like, yeah, of course there's a globe model. Duh. Like, no, fuck you don't. There is no such animal.
He didn't even know what he was asking. It was only by virtue of us attempting to respond did he begin to build his question. And the question was a fucking hour long. because we were helping him go move. It's like he's dead, right? And then we're just like stringing him along. You know what I'm saying? It's like he didn't have anything. That's why I asked. I was like, "What the fuck does that mean? You got two lights. You go up. What's the question?"
Yeah, but you're thinking logical, man. This guy was just like weekend at Bernie's and shit, man, with the arrow through his head. Like this motherfucker, like you have to move his arms just to get him to say shit, you know?
But in the question, what he started, at least, there are two different ground positions. Because he said we have the person here, and time is this, and we have person there, and time is this. That two person has two different.
He knows, Sasha. He's fucking around, dude. He's fucking around. That's all he's doing, and he's just dragging us along with his little game because he's trying to see how long he can do it.
No, the thing is to say I don't know what is GP, but you are asking in your example for the GP.
That's all he's been doing.
It's like saying, I don't know what shape the Earth is, but it's definitely not flat.
It irks me because some people are
in that shape.
Some people are giving him their time. No, man, let him speak. Let's go through what he's going to talk about. And he's on this fuck shit, man. Like that. I don't know. It pisses me off, dude.
It's like, I don't know what color grass is, but it's definitely not pick the color.
You know, it's like, it's very weird, the situation in this like server. So sometimes people get banned. Like I wish, you know, like them giving more time, maybe just like for the sake of it. And then I see those people like bunch of like idiots, just like for the sake of time waste, doing whatever they need to do. I say like, fuck, like, no, please, like, ban them, don't give them any time. Like, okay, it's much better, like, not wasting time on those idiots than, like, maybe doing injustice to them.
Well, I was talking about, like, the attenuation of light through a medium, and he goes around, well, the speed of the attenuation. I'm like, that's the speed of light? No, it's not the speed of light, it's the speed of the attenuation. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, that's exactly what we're talking about right there. How fast the light is attenuating through the medium? Duh. Don't change it around and make it sound all snazzy like you came up with some shit and you started to make your own argument. That's fucked up.
I got the moment where he brought it up. You guys can tell. You guys can judge for yourself whether he knows or not.
The sphere. So let's say that's the sun where that star is, and GP is underneath that star.
Also, his mic was trash the whole time, but
GP's underneath the star. You motherfucker, dude. Oh.
Okay. Jeez.
Well, what is the GP? I don't understand this.
What is the GP?
Like, because either he was too stupid and didn't understand, or these people know more than they're getting on and they know how to divert you away from the point. Because the point that I was going to make is that if you're talking about seeing the sun from everywhere on Earth, no, the zero angle is the fucking equator, which means beyond there you can't see that. Now that's a fixed star. However, the sun moves, so when the sun moves away from you, it eventually gets to its zero angle. You can't see it anymore. But we couldn't get to that point, so I don't know.
Here's a little bit more context.
Stars. GP is underneath that star. Well, if you go to the other side of GP, and he looks up.
Yeah. He's. I'm detecting both.
He fucking knows. And he should find where he just finished saying, like, not so long ago, that he doesn't know what it is. What's the GP?
Yeah, I need to get my clipboard on and get that part.
Did we catch him live in a lie? Why would he lie? Why would he lie?
Why would he lie? Why would he lie?
Is he still here? Yeah, ask him. Why would you lie, bro?
Yeah, let me ask him. Luxo, why are you going to be lying in this chat, man? We got you on tape lying. Why are you lying, bro?
I messaged you guys both the picture that I was talking to and in the chat.
Luxo, why are you lying, bro? Answer my question. Why are you lying?
I was talking about the image.
No,
There's
answer my question.
those fucking points on a disc. I'm answering your question. I don't know what GP was. I was just referring to a diagram.
My question, it's not like a flat earther, like a listener on YouTube. Why you are why you always lying? Why you lied? That's my question. Not like a flat earther, like a person who are listening this show.
You think I'm lying? But I knew
because he asked me, am I talking about the diagram or am I I said, no, I'm talking about in real life Polaris. So the GP of Polaris, you already know what the GP of a star is because you explained it in what we just played. See, but this is what I mean. This is no, I'm sorry. It's not your time to speak. Somebody mute him or something. Like this is what I mean by Globers. Like what's wrong with them is they are able to intake information, but because they're retarded, context doesn't even exist. So they can make an argument using words in some area, and you're like, but that contradicts this area. And they're like, I don't get what you mean, because you don't fucking understand the words that you're using. That's crazy. Well, gravity, let me just use it's like the guy yesterday. He's like, I just, I got a good idea of how gravity works. So define it then. Well, I don't know if I do well with defining it. How the fuck are you using a word that you don't know how to define it?
You even explained what it was underneath the star, Luxo, and now you're coming back and saying, well, I don't know what you're talking about. So you're trying to make fools of the whole panel here just to make it seem like
are you looking at the image, dude?
Luxo, you don't know.
GP is literally under the star.
You just
but
thank you for saying that. What the fuck?
In the image. I didn't come up with that before. I only say that because I saw the image. I was just trying to talk around like.
But if you understood that back then, why did you ask what it is later on the discussion?
I don't know.
You already understood
that. GP. I did not understand that.
Is a GP somewhere? Yes or no? I don't know.
I don't know what GP is.
I don't know what a GP is.
Why are you lying?
Yeah, you're fucking lying, dude. You're busting. You're caught red-handed, bro.
People come here asking
I said, are you referring to the image again?
People come here asking why the globe is lying. Why the globe is lying? Why are you lying?
Why do you think I'm lying?
Well, we got you on tape.
We caught you in.
Got you in a fucking lie, bro. What the fuck?
You don't read the letters. If I read the letters GP, does that mean I know what GP is?
Okay, underneath the star, there's two letters, G and P. What the fuck do you think that means?
I didn't think about it.
What do you think it? Well, think about it right now. What do you think? It means?
Well, I know it now. You told me.
What do you know? What do you know?
Fucking global position or some shit.
Global positioning? Dude,
what is it? It's in the fucking chat, dude.
Is that what we said? Did we say global positioning?
Globe position.
Yeah, is that what we said?
Ground position.
Oh,
India. Okay, well that means.
But if it was
lying about it.
No, it's not. You're lying because you said it was underneath the star.
What does that mean?
Yeah, in the image, that's true. I was describing the image.
So what does that mean?
Is that not true in the image?
What does that mean?
It means I didn't know what GP was, dude.
If I have to talk any slower than I just did,
it means I didn't know what GP was.
Somebody mute him.
I just did. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, so again, now that you know what GP is, right? When you can't see something in the sky, like the sun or the stars, it's because it's beyond the minimum angle that you can view it based on perspective, which is how we see through our eyeballs.
Hallelujah.
Oh my God! Stop your fucking lying.
Yeah, look, I don't know what a zero angle is. I don't think you would explain it.
Well, Google it. Google it. No, I'm dead ass. Google it. Then post it in the chat.
Call a friend, ask the audience.
He's having an hour-long discussion and then just now feigning ignorance. Amazing. He didn't stop and
Yeah,
say,
can we
hey,
remind you? This was
can you explain me what the zero angle is? What is that? Like, he didn't stop and ask you that, like, as somebody who is inquisitive about what you're saying. No. He went ahead and just, like, started to make his own examples and talk about somebody in daytime and nighttime without ever going back and saying, hey, I don't know what zero angle is. Or telling you, at least being honest, right? Right, Luxo? You could have done that at any point.
It's the first. I just brought it up. It's the first time I brought it up because we didn't even get to. We didn't even.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the attenuation of light. We didn't even get to the reason that you can't see things forever. Like, cause
Yeah,
here
so
on Earth,
I haven't heard zero
oh
angle.
God, bro, I don't know how fast you want to get banned out of here, but you're on a quick path, bullet train to that location. So I asked you to Google zero angle and post what you found in the chat. That's what you're supposed to be doing, not saying words that you don't understand, trying to have a conversation that you clearly can't measure up to.
What a guy.
Here's the sun over here where I'm at. There you are over there on a flat earth. Well, why do we have time zones? Because the sun is over there and it can't be at 90 degrees for everyone on earth. I mean, that's fucking obvious. So when it moves away from you, it gets to a point where it's at the minimum angle that your eyeballs can observe.
Okay, so the sun disappears from view.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It's unresolvable by your eyes. Can't see it no more.
It's behind something or it's too far.
It's unresolvable by your eyes. I think I just stated that.
I don't know. Can you explain that?
No, we can't.
It's not doing what you think it's doing.
Go research.
Is there another way you can reword that?
Go do more research.
We've already answered this in many different ways.
What's a zero angle?
It's an angle with measure of 0 units.
Excuse me? What's a zero angle?
A zero angle is an angle with a measure of 0 units.
What does that mean?
Typically, these units are degrees or radians.
So if it's at 0 degrees in the vertical plane, what is it?
I don't understand the question.
It's a fucking line. So if it's a fucking line, what is the resolution of your eyeball?
If it's a line, what is the resolution of my?
Is 0 less than the resolution limit of your eyeball? You think?
Right, these terms are not. You're gonna have to maybe dumb it down for me.
I can't. I don't know what else to do for you, fam. I mean, I don't know what else to do. You know what an angle is. I'm telling you that all optical equipment, including our eyeballs, have an angular resolution limit. You don't know what that is. Why don't you go do some reading?
Well, since you know about it, maybe you can explain it in different words, in simple language.
Well, guess what? Whatever the resolution limit of your eyeball is, I guarantee that it's higher than 0.
Is that a distance? I don't know what a
Oh,
resolution
fuck off,
is.
dude. Hey, no, hang on, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
no, he's saying, explain it to me and use better English. Dude, he's fucking mocking you, Eli. Like, this fucker is like, I mean, unless you want him to just continue to keep telling you to explain it better. Like,
Zero angle. Well, I'll use geeksforgeeks.org if you don't like them. I don't know what to tell you. What is a zero angle? An angle that does not form a vertex, which is two lines meeting at a single point. It is also called zero radians. A zero angle is formed when both the rays or arms of the angle are pointing towards the same direction. It's just a line. It's just a line with
Okay.
2 points. That's it. So the point is, right? If you're looking up at directly up vertically, that's 90 degrees. Then you move that object further and further away from you. Eventually it's at 0, which means you don't have an angle to resolve because the angle is 0.
Right, the sun's traveled from directly above to the horizon.
Yo,
the
I
horizon.
just got out,
You
I
make
just
it
got out the shower. I can't open my
fucking
phone
guy.
with my fingerprint thing.
Oh,
The
God.
moment that I can, he's getting the red gavel, guys. I'm just letting you know now. So you better have fun while you can.
Well, I'm sure you guys got a lot.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah, what the hell was that, man?
He was just about to swear us up and down and leave the server, and you had to kick him.
No, I disconnected him. He'll probably be back, but fuck him.
Yeah, they come in threes, bro. That was number 3.
Well, yeah, they were in a group.
Creation there. The units are in degrees, so is that like distance?
Use better English to tell me. Like, fuck off, dude.
That's how you know they're trolling, Eli. He was like, he wasn't even answering your question. You're like, so what is a 0? He's like, well, angles are in degrees. Cool, that's not what we're asking. Then he turns around and goes, well, so are you talking like distance? Like, bro, you 2 seconds ago you just brought up degrees, dummy. Holy smokes.
If something is more than 0, is that less than or greater than 0? I don't know.
I don't know what this means.
Use better English. No understanding you right now. Fuck off, dude.
Fuck.
And let it be known, this was he brought all this up. This was his question, and it led absolutely nowhere. Like, pro tip for Globers out there, if you want to make an example or raise a point, at least be able to cash it in somewhere. Why would you what's the point of going through all this if you can't deposit it back to your claim?
It's annoying to hear.
They've been in. Man, it's so sad though. It's so sad when a child comes in here and uses the tactics of an adult. You're like, you little snot, you little shit. But really, it's like, damn, somebody taught you how to be that way. And when you look at, like, you know, the people in university, the way they are, the story that the young woman just told the other day, was that, oh, was it a guy? I can't remember. So many people come in, but it's like they were talking about how they had asked their professor a question, and the professor was just like, well, learn it or get the fuck out, right? And so what they're doing is mimicking us, because we're like, learn what the fuck you believe in or get the fuck out. We're not saying you don't have a place here. We're saying, well, you're being obnoxious because the clip that Creation Bear plays when the guy's saying, you can't reason with these people. You can't, these flat earthers. So what you have to do is get them to realize, or whatever the fuck he was saying. And I think that's what they think they're doing. That's what they think they're doing. Like, but see, when I'm doing that, I'm actually literally able to lead you. It's like, oh, you don't understand this? Here's the citation. Here's the definition. Okay, moving forward. You know, like, I'm literally like taking them like a baby, and I'm just like picking them up, bringing them to the ABC blocks. Okay, that's great. Picking them up, taking them to their little chair to get the little juicy sip because they be thirsty sometimes. They need a little drink and some food. So then you got to pick them up. You take them over here. Look at this. And it's like, they're not doing that. They're just like saying things that they don't understand. And they don't know that. And it's crazy as fuck. It's insane what he just did.
Yeah, I agree with you there. How they think they're trying to do that what you were describing. They're trying to lead you down a path, but the problem is when we. That's why that's why I called him out. I said, "All right, put it into a statement then," and he couldn't. That just shows how ineffective him trying to lead us down this path that he doesn't even know where it leads, bro. He doesn't have a point. He never had a point.
Hey, remember the other guy, CB? I tangle these guys. I love doing it, dude. I tangle them up so badly in their own rhetoric. They don't even know which way is up. He's just doubting the globe model. It was amazing. Like how he's just like, science, moon phases? No moon phases. He's like trying to figure out you can just hear the gears turning in his mind and him trying to read like, oh shit, what can I use here? What's scientific? Shit. Like he couldn't come up with something. Well, it's predictable. Okay, well, fine. What kind of prediction? Well, moon phases.
Yeah, that was
wow. Cute. Yeah, it was amazing. Moon phases.
Tags! What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.